I think many people would agree when I say that we have been having some sort of gaming renaissance. I actually finished the script for this video back in June 2024. And this video would have initially started by me saying, and I think we can all agree that gaming has been kind of boring these days. And for me, going from that to this is pretty funny, in my opinion. I think that the reasoning behind this change has something to do with the pricing points and contents of modern AAA games. What do I mean by that? Games with major IPs have been receiving this treatment of low investment, high prices. And sure, you will find many people that actually love Doom the Dark Ages or the new Pokemon game. And I am not here to say anything against that. They should enjoy what they want to enjoy. I just fundamentally disagree with the companies that sell these games at that type of value that in my opinion simply does not exist. But I'm glad for them, since all of those changes have motivated myself and I believe a lot of people to break out of their shells and search for good games. That might explain why games such as Hollow Knight Silksong or Clair Obscur Expedition 33 have become the wide successes that they are. And thinking about these price points, right? It took me back to the past where PlayStation Hits was a thing. I don't know if that was just a thing for us Europeans, if it was, well, rip bozo. I don't think that it was, but PlayStation Hits, for everyone that doesn't know about it, it was a thing in which you could buy games such as Bloodborne or a God of War or Uncharted and a lot more for 20 bucks each. 20 bucks each. I mean, what the fuck? I even have Bloodborne here with me. It's this thing right here. Wait, here's the camera. PlayStation Hits right here. And I think that the reason because PlayStation Hits in my eyes and in my mind frame was as great as it was because I wasn't required to make literal investments in order to play them. I remember me and my homies going to our local GameStop regularly to buy games like Black Ops 2 or in my case the Arkham games and many more, for like 5 or 10 bucks at max. And it was around that time that I really fell in love with gaming as a whole and also found what is now, to this day, my favorite game of all time. Now this game that I'm talking about is just a little puzzle game that later even turned into something more competitive, but it's called Catherine. It is made by the guys that have made Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, but that's not what this video is supposed to be about, since for me at the time, they weren't the Persona people, they were the Catherine people. The game is about 32-year-old office worker Vincent Brooks, who finds himself in a love triangle with his seemingly pregnant girlfriend and a woman he randomly met and cheated with. Vincent is nothing but a struggling middle-aged man that is now in this predicament that he was not prepared to be in. And the funniest part is that you get to make the decisions that may or may not turn the tides or fuck him up even more. The game presents this with two ways. Either you pick chaos or you pick order. So depending on where you stand, which is also something that a meter showcases you through the entirety of this game, you can be the biggest asshole imaginable or relatively rational. And in the end, the path that you have chosen will determine whether or not Vincent can find peace, or more importantly, who he can find that peace with. The gameplay loop is nothing too special. It's just a puzzle in which you move blocks into the right direction to climb up to the door of freedom. You will fight bosses, you will die a lot, but it's still relatively fun. But this isn't what the game is truly about. As you can imagine, Catherine isn't supposed to be your new visual or technical revolution. More than that, I think this game works the same way that a good movie or a good piece of art in general works. In the words of one of my favorite creators on this platform called High Top Films,
I'm dead serious. This game actually made me feel. And that's what good art does, make you feel something.
And this game did make me feel. It made me feel excitement, sadness, happiness, and at last, when you get to your ending, you're either happy with the path that you have chosen, or do you want to redo and rewrite the story that has left you with nothing but yourself. Why even talk about this though? When you look at games like Catherine and compare them to, for example, the latest Doom, on paper, Doom would be the better game no matter what. I believe that when you actually play both games and one random person in about 3 years' time asks you about them, you will remember more about Catherine than you will about Doom: The Dark Ages. I don't think that this works for everyone the way that I just described it, but I am of the opinion that this would be the result for most. My reasoning behind this is actually pretty simple. Games like Catherine are designed to be finished and a one-and-done story. There is no DLC or sequel required for you to finish an already finished story. And sure, Doom and Catherine aren't even remotely close to being the same game, but I think that the purpose of Catherine is much better executed than the purpose of Doom: The Dark Ages. Because honestly, and also this isn't just about Doom: The Dark Ages, it's just an example for all modern AAA games, I don't feel like there is a purpose other than money. Whereas for games like Catherine, it was to create a story. Or at least that's what it feels like, since ironically, Catherine was a game that was created to test the new PS3 engine back in the day. And even though this was the reason this game was created, it still feels this artistic and this creative to this day. And since personally speaking, when I played Catherine or watched it as a teenager myself, I was immediately sucked into the atmosphere and the world that was being created in the very front of my own eyes. And components like music and the truly amazing story played a part to that for sure. But all of this just reminded me on why I love games to begin with. They are an art form. A form of expression like none other, since they are literally designed to make you feel as if you were in that world that you're playing. It's supposed to make you feel as if you truly are Vincent Brooks, or walking through the streets of Night City yourself. They don't need to be perfect in every single way, but at least have a clear vision and want of creating something. Creating something other than just money. Try to find your own Catherine within that pile of games that you have already played. And for the people that don't have that sort of pile or want to have a pile like that, start with Catherine. And to companies who I know will not hear this, but I still want to say it from the bottom of my heart, try new things. Give yourself the time to come up with more innovative ideas, and especially unique ideas that don't have to be revolutionary, but at least have to be memorable and tell a tale worth telling. At the end of all of this, I just want to ask you, what is your favorite game? What has made you fall in love with gaming and the entire medium and the communities and just everything surrounding this truly beautiful thing that we all get to experience on a daily basis? And other than that, thank you for listening to this. I hope that you had some fun again listening to me ramble about my favorite things out there. I hope that you took something with you today, and if you didn't, I apologize. You have just waited maybe about 7 to 8 minutes of your life.